I'm going to talk about courage, specifically in the gospel where Jesus is walking on the water. They didn't know when the disciples were in the boat, they weren't sure who it was or why somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning is out walking on the water. They thought it was a ghost. So he identifies himself. Yes, it's me. And Peter says, Lord, if it's you, call me out onto the water. There's a good reason for that. First of all, Peter was submissive. He was submissive to his Lord, to his teacher, to the Messiah, right? I mean, he wanted permission. He wasn't just going to just jump in, right? So he asked, Lord, if it's you, will you call me out onto the water? And Jesus says, come out onto the water. I want to point something out right now. Peter was the only one out of the 12 with balls enough to walk out onto the water. Yes, I just said balls. Because I'm not trying to reach the oversaved here. I'm not trying to reach religious folks. I want to talk to regular, everyday, my kind of people. The people like me that say balls. So anyways, Peter's the only one that is willing to lay it all out there and say, you know what, Lord, I'm coming to you. And yes, he sank. He started sinking when he started worrying. He saw the wind and the waves, and the Lord was right there. Reached down, pulled him up out of the water. And there's a lot to that. You see, when you're being called out of the water, you got to know that it's going to take a lot of faith. You got to believe in the Lord, trust in the Lord, because he's calling you to where you're going for a reason. There will be difficult times. It's not always easy. The growth is in the difficult times. The growth is in the tears, the worry, everything else. But you have to lean on God, right? Because he's going to pull you up out of that water. Point blank, period. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. He will pull you out of that water. He needs you. He needs you to complete whatever he has set for you to do. Now, when Peter got back into the boat, you know those guys were like, what were you thinking, you dumbass? Right? Yes, I just said ass. Right? Because I keep it real. So, they had to be giving him a hard time. But at the end of the day, if Peter had a spine, I know he was like, well, I didn't see any of you guys trying to, step up and take that leap. So, when you're doing what you feel like you've been called to do, there's going to be backlash. There's people that are going to say, what the hell were you thinking? Or what are you doing? That's crazy. If it seems crazy, it's probably for the Lord. Just a heads up, right? There's always going to be trolls that telling you that are going to tell you, don't do it. What are you thinking? Play it safe. There's no growth in safe, man. There's no growth in comfort zones. Get out of the water no matter what, no matter who or what comes against you. You know who put that in your heart to get out of the boat, to step out onto the water and say, Lord, call me and I will come. And I promise you it's going to be worth it. It may not be easy, but I promise you it'll be worth it in the end. Believe in yourself, believe in the Lord, and know that you have what it takes to walk out on that water. And if you start to sink, he's going to pick you up. Believe in that. Peace.